Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio because we're on a mission. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 to the show. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. And you can find us every Friday. You can also check us out on Facebook. Go to Facebook Live. We're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and you can also get us right here on Radio 1 95.9 FM, over at Radio 1 on WOL 95.5 FM and 1450 AM. Glad to be here. We got a great show today, as we always do right here. And I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I help companies in the business space. So if you're trying to start a business, you have a business that's already out there, you're trying to give it some octane and pump it up a little bit, promote it, then you want to tune into this show because we are handing out information, tips, nuggets, and we occasionally bring on guests that can help us in this cause. So welcome again. I also have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. You can find out more about the company by going to gatewoodmarketing.com. You can also follow the show on marketingpulpit.com. Everything is right there, past shows, upcoming shows, guests. You can do a search on topics. Same thing with our YouTube channel. So we're just trying to get this information in as many ear holes, as the Funkadelic used to say, as we can. Today we're going to talk about some interesting items. Somebody's been asking about, what if everybody wants your services for free? They don't want to pay you. We're going to talk about what kind of people only want your services for free and how you should handle them. We're going to talk about that later in the show. We're also going to talk about some items in the news. There's a lot going on. We want to keep you abreast of what's happening. So once again, we're glad to be able to do that right here on the Marketing Pulpit Show every Friday at 10:30 a.m. We also want to thank our sponsors, BLE Executive Suites, for helping us bring this information to you. Check out their 3 locations at Largo, National Harbor, and College Park. And you can find them at blesuites.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors, people like Attorney Bradley Thomas, Nathaniel Jordan, the Minister of Wellness. And you can also find them on our business directory by going to mpi.bz, or you can find it on marketingpulpit.com. There's a link that says business directory, so you can get the information there as well. And so just glad to have them aboard. Go to mpi.bz and see the companies that have joined that directory. And we're pumping it out every week here on the show. We're also running ads on Facebook and other social media platforms to let people know that this information is available. And these wonderful companies are available through our business directory. We have attorneys, we have models, we have home improvement, we have medical professionals, we have nonprofits, we have all types of people in that business directory. And I recommend you go there and support them as they support the show and get your company in the directory so we can shout you out on the air too. Because every week we shout out the new people in the directory and make sure they get the love that they need. And we'd like to include you in that number. Let's talk about some of the items that are coming up in the news. Before I get to that, though, I put out a meme this week on Facebook, and it was simply this: don't let your online persona become so estranged from your real life persona that the two hardly even know each other. They're not even speaking. They wouldn't recognize each other if they saw them. Now, what does that mean? Many of us go online and we build these profiles and we get pulled into the online world, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's TikTok, and we become a different person. And it's understandable. You get on there, people liking you, they're loving you, they're tweeting you, they're engaging in conversation with you, and you got thousands of followers. People just can't wait to get to you. And then you log off and you come into this other world where instead of having 1,000 friends, you may have 4 or 5 friends. They're treating you like the normal, nice, genuine person that you are. So what I've been asking people to do is to try to reconcile these two worlds. So that, because believe it or not, for better or worse, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, these platforms are not going to be here forever. They may morph into something else. They may go out of business altogether. ChatGPT and AI may make them obsolete. So what we have to do is constantly work on our real world selves. We have to work on our real world selves. I know it's hard to come off that high when everybody's liking you and flowering you with compliments and telling you how pretty or handsome or great you are. And sometimes we encourage that by creating profiles that exaggerate our looks, our credentials. But that's the world we're in right now. I'm just saying, let's not get so far out there that we can't bring these worlds together. Okay, so because it's going to be hard to keep it going, particularly now in the world of artificial intelligence. Start working on your real world self. Start keeping those relationships that you built in the real world. Work on those relationships too. Some of those relationships online are not, they're gawkers, they're stalkers, they call themselves fans and followers, and some may be, but that's not where you're going to make it in this real world, because the real world is going to come back home. And I'm telling you, AI has already fired the first salvo over the bow. Start getting real. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. We're going to leave it right there. And I just say this: make sure your online person at least lives in the same neighborhood as the real you. All right, let's talk about some items in the news. Speaking about online persona, for better or worse, sometimes the online persona is worse, more sinister than the real person. And sometimes they're the same. Sometimes we just don't know. And Indiana Police Department has fired an officer after only 2 days on the job for sending out racist posts on his social media platform. 2 days after he got hired. He left his real world. It took him 2 days to get caught up in the social media world. Now he's out of a job. He made some disparaging remarks about George Floyd, Martin Luther King, he said, and now he's out of a job. Folks, I'm telling you, let's get real and stay real. Let's bring these worlds together. Cracker Barrel, as people have, they use the word woke now as a derogative term. I'm woke, folks. I'm not afraid to say it. Call me woke. But anyway, Cracker Barrel has been accused of going woke. And of course, some of the extremists on the right have gone after them because they are embracing diversity, inclusion, and equity. Where in the world, what has happened in the world where it's a bad thing to be accepting diversity, equity, and inclusion? That tells you how far we have gone astray as a country. So now they're ready to boycott Cracker Barrel. Now, Cracker Barrel has a little checkered past. In 1992, they had a policy that stated that they would not hire any gay or lesbian employees. And of course, they had to deal with the Justice Department. And also under George Bush, they had some problems with mistreatment of African-American customers. So now they're trying to do the right thing, and now they're getting pushback from the right. I say Cracker Barrel. I mean, the name's still a little shaky, and I've been there myself. They have some good food in the morning. If you've been out at a baseball game or left a party, Cracker Barrel is the nicest place to drop. And I'm glad that they're actually embracing diversity, inclusion, and equity right on Cracker Barrel. Man, who in the world I thought it'd be room for Cracker Barrel? That just tells you, man, we're in an upside down, topsy-turvy world. Let's talk about what else is going on in the news. Chris Litt of CNN, the president, the CEO of CNN, has been shown the door. I have one word for him. Well, two words. Donald Trump did him in. Seems like everything Donald Trump touches goes down the toilet. Of course, we had the town hall that many people on the left and the right, were not too happy about the 90-minute infomercial that Chris Litt allowed Donald Trump, and he paid a price for it. There were other issues. The staff turned on him. Somebody wrote an internal newsletter, said the employees had left the room. In other words, they were none too happy with his chairmanship. He's out the door. I mean, he also had some other things. They got rid of Don Lemon. They got rid of Chris Cuomo. They tried this CNN online that was a flop. He's out of there, and now they're bringing in somebody else. So it doesn't pay. People are finding time and time again, it doesn't pay to embrace Donald Trump in any way, any form or fashion. And I'm trying to say this not as a political issue, because I try to keep this show business-like, but it's hard to keep these worlds separated nowadays, and particularly when we're talking about something like media. That's a world that we all live in. And so, but anyway, he's out. We had a shooting at a graduation, at a high school graduation, where one of the graduates and his stepfather were killed. This brings up this topic of guns again. It's the guns. We have to rein in this gun play in our country. There is no way around it. You go out to a graduation expecting to celebrate an accomplishment, achievement of these young people, and next thing you know, you're dodging bullets. That's not right, ladies and gentlemen. We have to fix that. We have to fix that. So what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, we have one more news story and they tied together. A Jamaican cottage owner says she's banning Black Americans. She doesn't want your business. We're going to talk about why, and it's going to be a segue into our topic of the day. Why do some people always want something free? Folks, this is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our subject. Don't go away. We'll be back in a minute.
Greetings, business owners, authors, buyers, sellers, and supporters. I'm Viola, your customer care specialist. I'm here to answer any questions regarding the Marketing Pulpit Business Directory. If you need assistance, send me an email at viola@marketingpulpit.com. I or one of my associates will get back in touch with you right away. Thank you for joining. Happy selling and shopping. Greetings, business owners, authors, buyers.
We are back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday, bringing you the good marketing gospel. And we have a great following. Man, I'm just tickled pink. And that's kind of hard to believe, right? That I can ever be pink. But my point is, we we are glad of the follows. We have some of our favorite regular followers who are tuning in this morning. I see attorney Bradley Thomas, one of the greatest attorneys, intellectual property attorneys in the land. He has a special. You can go to the mpi.bz for anyone looking for some services, IP services, estate planning services, and so forth. And he does have a discount for anybody who wants to take advantage of those services. Go to mpi.bz and go to Bradley Thomas. He's listed in the featured section and take advantage of those services. He has 20% off on some of his services. Also, we have Eternity Plumbing. They're featured in the directory. We also have Platinum, a comedian and coach. She's also tuning in, and she's featured in our directory. I see Brother Rory out of Carolina. Thank you for tuning in. And to all of our listeners, if you want to get a shout out, just drop your name in the feed. I can see people are tuning in. I won't see your name until you actually drop a line in the feed, and I will be glad to shout you out as I have with Mr. Rory and Platinum and Bradley and Brother Brown and a few other people. Let's talk about this item in the news. A woman, this from the Independent News, a Black business owner in Jamaica states that she is not entertaining any more Black American guests. Ouch. That's cold-blooded. She said Black Americans that come to her cottage feel entitled and they always want something free. That's kind of cold. I ain't gonna lie. But I know some of y'all are shaking your heads like, well, I can relate. If you're in business, regardless of the color, somebody's going to come to you and want some free services. I think the lady's been a little hard on Black Americans, I must say. I know a lot of folks have been asking for free service for me, but I wouldn't take a broad brush and say that this is a Black problem. But it is a problem. If you are in business, which many of you are, this is a business show. Let's talk about this thing for a minute. Come on, family. Let's put this item on the table here and let's talk about it. Let's work it out. Doesn't have to be this way. Now I'm going to put it this way. Who are these people? And why do they always want something free? I'm going to say this group, I'm going to put them in a group called they are lacking. Okay? I'm going to say they're lacking. And what do I mean? One, they may be lacking funds. Some people just plain don't have the money. They're underfunded. They didn't get their business loan. They didn't do the work they needed to do before they launched their business. They're lacking funds. Okay, they may want something free. Doesn't mean you have to give it to them, but that could be one of the reasons. Another reason, they could be lacking knowledge. They don't really understand how your business works. Like, why couldn't you give it to me free? It's no skin off your back. Well, yeah, it's quite a bit of skin off my back, my arms, my legs, my head, and everything else. They may be lacking knowledge. They may be lacking distance or difference or distance. They're just too close to you. They could be your family, your friend, your frats, your neighbors, and you know the folks. They pull you aside at the party. Oh, yeah, look, I got this issue I need you to talk to you about. They haven't mentioned money not one time. You wait on them and say, hey, how much it costs? So they may feel a little too familiar with you, okay? They could be lacking cultural sameness. Some cultures, that's just the way it is. They just ask for something free, period. I mean, I ain't mad at them, just telling you like it is. And sometimes you're downright lacking respect. They don't respect what you do. Man, let me tell you, I spent a lot of time getting the experience, credentials, the goodwill, the reputation that I have. And when somebody comes along and asks me for something free, I'm going to feel like that's a sign of disrespect, okay? So how do we deal with it? I'm going to give you some responses in case any of you, I know that's never happened to anybody in this audience, right? Wink, wink. Everybody come to you with the checkbook out. Before they even start, say, look, Robert, they may say, look, Bradley, look, Platinum, I know it's going to cost you money, so I'll be willing to pay you for whatever advice you give me. That sounds nice, but it sounds a little more like fairy tale land, if you ask me. They're more likely going to just pull you aside and talk to you, call you about 5 or 6 times before money even comes up, because you have to broach the subject. So what you might say, look, even though you need this service, because of my experience, I can't offer this service for free, but what I can do, I may refer you to somebody with less experience who can handle this for you, and they probably won't charge you as much. Ouch. But that's one approach. Another approach is okay, I tell you what, sounds like you need this service. And even though you might not have the amount of money you need right now to retain or hire me, why don't we work out some kind of payment plan? Put down a deposit today, and we'll just work it off as we go. Okay? Are we speaking real world yet? I know some people are still going to insist, but there may be certain people you may apply certain of these rules to certain people. Okay, now here's one I use quite a bit. Sometimes people come to me for service. I really want to help them, but I'm busy. I said, look, I'm not sure if you're in a hurry right now, but if you have some time during our slow season, we might be able to work you in. Now, of course, you can extend that slow season for 20 years. You might not ever get to them, but at least you didn't, because they were a friend or family, you didn't really brush them off, okay? Waiting on that slow period that may not ever come, okay? Here's a good one. Might be a win-win. I tell you what you do. You refer somebody to me. You bring me a referral who is paying, then I can probably just throw yours in on the side as a kind of a side item. That way you get a referral and they get some free work, okay? Here's another one I like to use. We have a starter package. The starter package may indeed be free. I tell you what, come in, we got this new package that for startup people like you. It may be free or it may be at a low cost. Get them in there, and if they never graduate to where they can pay, no skin off your back. And my last one is the barter. Some people may have a service that you actually need. Say, look, hey, you need my service. I tell you what, I saw that new Lexus I've been trying to get. Maybe you can give me a deal on that. Or I saw this new whatever. My roof is a little leaking right now. Maybe you can work on my roof and I'll give you some free marketing. So there are ways to get around this, but you don't have to give your services away free. Now, there are some situations where you may indeed want to give away free services. Now, you might be saying, what are you talking about, Robert? Why would I ever want to give away services? Well, let me tell you this. Let's just say you're trying to build your list. I'm always talking about low threshold, getting people in the door. You may say, look, come in, add your name to our email list. Then we're going to give you a free consultation or free starter page or free domain or something. Okay, so that is one way that free can actually work to your advantage. Another one might be to build your portfolio. If you're starting a brand new business, I don't want to be your guinea pig with my money. Okay, I want to see that somebody else has been through that door before I go into it. So what you want to do, I've used this one as well. I would use people that get them in, build my portfolio, get some testimonials. And sometimes the best way to do that is to give the service away free, to build that critical group of testimonials. Another opportunity or benefit for giving away free services is through influencers. I use somebody like Joe Madison, for instance. When I first started working with him, I gave him his website free. I said, look, man, I'm in the web business. We know each other. I've been working with you on some of your marketing stuff. Let me just give you a website. And man, when I did it, every chance he got, he would let folks know who did his website up to this day, 20 years later. So there are opportunities to use free to your benefit. And let's not forget about philanthropy. Let's give from the heart. Let's not make it all about money. There are some situations, I work for a lot of nonprofits, and I would just give. I would give services, sometimes I give money, sometimes I give who knows what else. I'm making relationships. So giving from a financial standpoint, from a philanthropic standpoint, sometimes free comes to play there. And the last one I would like to point out is that free works sometimes when you're dealing with customer service. Somebody got a bad, something didn't work, website crashed as soon as you put it up. As soon as you did the law practice, the person went to jail, who knows what else. Your roof started leaking the minute you got out the door. And you might get, so look, because your roof started leaking as soon as I left, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on your plumbing free. So, or you may do something else to make good, what do you call it? Make good. And to keep that person as a customer. So the bottom line is, if you're giving away your services free, you can still do it, but you may have to, go through this process of understanding more about the person, why they want the free service. You may have a set list of responses to let them know why you're not going to give them free services and offer them some alternatives. And there is opportunities for you to use free to build your business. Free does not have to be a negative. I want to thank you for joining us today. That's going to wrap up the sermon for today. What I want you to do, though, if you are a business owner talking about free, go to the business directory today and join the free Marketing Pulpit Business Directory, mpi.bz. And if you join, what's the date? Today is June 9th. I'm going to give you a free interview on this show. I'm not playing here. I'm going to give you a free interview if you join to get today. Go to mpi.bz, sign up for the free plan. And if I see you come across the threshold today, I'm going to upgrade you to the plan that gets you the free interview right here on Radio 195.9 FM on the Marketing Pulpit Show. And we're going to feature you on the homepage. We're going to feature you on Facebook. We're going to feature you on LinkedIn. We're going to feature you on Twitter. This is an offer I'm offering you today. It's not going to be a next week. I'm just telling you. Take advantage of it, folks. And we're going to thank everybody for tuning in today. Thank you, Platinum, Brother Rory, Brother Brown, Brother Thomas, and everybody who's tuning in online on a great show. We'll be back next week right here on the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. Go to the business directory, sign up, and we will see you back here next week. And also, if you want to be successful, I want you to do these three things. I want you to do the right thing. I want you to do it at the right time. And I want you to do it right. Now, when I log out today, I want you to go to marketingpulpit.com and look at some of the past shows and share this information. If you know somebody who's in business and they're trying to make it, sometimes they're struggling, sometimes they're trying to do better, share this information. I know you want to keep it to yourself. Sometimes when you find something good, you say, I want to share this. They might come back and do better than me. Also, folks, remember what I started out the show with. Don't let your online self and your real self become so estranged that they don't recognize each other. That's going to wrap it up for today, folks. Thank you again. We'll see you next week at the same time. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And if you want to be successful, do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you got to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work. Sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes you miss an opportunity. You didn't get a job. You didn't get a contract. Don't cry over it. You didn't buy that Tesla stock when it was $10 a share. The opportunity is like a train. You miss one, there's another one right behind it. So that's what I like about the don't cry over spilled milk day. Okay? Yes, sometimes we don't get the break we think we should have gotten. But don't use up your precious psychic energy worrying about it. Move on. You look up one day and the phone just rang and people are calling you from everywhere. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could be a accountant, you could be a web designer, you could be a model, you could be an attorney, a roofer. You say, where's all this business coming from? Because what you may not have realized is that you were planting seeds, even when you didn't realize it. That's why you're in this season. It doesn't happen nilly-willy. But what you want to do is harness the power of planting and planning to make sure that those seasons happen. Hi, I'm Robert Gatewood. I just finished watching the Willie Jolly Comeback Show. As a matter of fact, I have a radio show of my own on Radio 1 called The Marketing Pulpit. And I heard about this comeback show, and so I invited Willie onto my show. We had a great interview, and after the show, Willie invited me to come out and watch the comeback show, which is not unusual because I like to go out and see what the guests are doing, whether it's a product or service or some type of positive influence they're having in our community. So it was natural for me to go out and watch the show. What I did not expect, though, is the profound impact that the show actually had upon me. I've been quite successful in life. I have a master's degree in business. I have my advertising agency, Gatewood Marketing and Web. I've written 2 books. I'm a subcontractor for the federal government, and I'm a college professor. So I felt like my life was pretty much complete, but I knew it wasn't. There's always been this gnawing inside of me that I feel like my job wasn't quite done. I sat there and watched this comeback show, and I felt this urge, this drive, this inspiration to get back out there and do it. So many of you probably sitting there today saying, what if I had done this? My life isn't quite complete. You might need that little push. And just like I received it during the comeback show, I invite you to come out and watch Willie Jolly, and it may have the same impact on you that it had on me. And I want to say thank you, Willie. Thank you for that extra push. Thank you.